Hey everyone, welcome into episode 2 of the podcast. My name is Jonny Gaston. How am I doing? I'm getting better and better. I hope you are too. And so I am releasing pages of my book, Life's Like Coffee, and I have released the first page. Maybe you've seen that. We're actually going to be going through that in this podcast. And so without further ado, let's jump right into the first page. I stood in the unfinished shell of what was supposed to be my coffee shop, my dream, holding the crumpled lease in one hand and the keys to the front door in the other. 30 months had passed. You know, I remember this. I remember the moment I could close my eyes and I could go right back there, just like that. I mean, literally, the emotion, the thoughts that were going through my mind, I mean, it's just so surreal because it was such a pivotal moment, because I realized we were absolutely at the point of no hope. At that point, there was nothing else to do. There was nothing I could do. And so this next paragraph, as I began to get onto the couch right here in our coffee shop, and many of you sat on that couch, you don't realize, before this coffee shop opened, I was weeping in that couch. My head was down on the seat, and my knees were on the ground, and I was telling God, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. It's finished. It's all over with. And I was going to walk away from the coffee industry. I mean, literally, that's the thoughts I was having. And that's very sad. Most people know I've been doing this for a very, very long time in my life. Coffee has been a huge part of obviously I love it. I'm passionate about it. And I'm grateful to be able to share my passion and my craft with our community. And by the way, this year, 2025, we won several awards for our coffee. I won a Master Roaster Award. We won Best Cafe, Best Coffee Shop in Grand Bay, and we also won the Golden Cup Award as well. So I'm just very proud and so thankful that God allowed us to be able to proceed and progress and to open this great establishment that it brings our community together. And so hope you're proud of it, and it's something that you are encouraged by. And when you come, my goal is that you'll feel at home. You'll feel cozy. You have a beautiful cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, all those things. And so, that was built by, you got to remember, a guy on the side of the road. I mean, literally, I was on the side of the road with just paper bags of coffee and a table that I borrowed from my church and a tent that was barely held up by bungee cords and zip ties. So it started with sacrifice and a lot of hope. And that's what, I say in this next thing. So let's go. It says, the voice of a trusted mentor who'd warned me not to open a coffee shop in this area kept echoing in my head. These are the naysayers, and this individual is very influential in our area, very wise. He's an older man, and, he's, I would usually take his advice, but at this point, he was basically discouraging me from even getting started in the first place before I ever set up on the side of the road. He said, Johnny, I just don't think a coffee shop's going to work here in Grand Bay and South Mobile. It just doesn't seem like it would work. And, that really took the wind out of my sails, to be honest with you. So be careful what you tell somebody. You don't know you crush somebody's dream. And look at it now working. So anyway, let's go on. It said, it kept echoing in my head. I hoped even at this moment he was wrong. But deep down I knew he was right. The keys fell. Hit the dusty concrete floor with a dull clink that sounded exactly like surrender. I was done. Dream dead, white flag raised. I collapsed onto the leather couch by the window. It wasn't like me, but tears came anyway, streaming down my face as I stared at the half-built space, imagining tearing down everything we poured ourselves into over such a long and grueling journey. A journey that had begun with sacrifice and a heart full of hope. Eventually, I dropped to my knees, completely at my wit's end. I prayed a broken prayer to God. I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. That was January 2024. Now, I did get that date wrong. Good thing this is easily editable, if that's the word. I'm going to change that because that was not January 2024. It's even better than that. It's actually January 2025 that was happening. So it was very quick after that we opened up. It was June. Actually, that we ended up opening June the 18th is when we opened. I think June 21st was our actual grand opening, if you remember. Okay, trekking on. shall we? Today, as I write this, December 2025, there's a line at the door of our storefront and cars backed up in the drive-thru of this thriving coffee shop. The keys I dropped that day now hang in a frame beside the first dollar we ever earned. A constant reminder, whenever I glance at them, never give up. Even at that point of despair, there is hope. You know, I remember there was a great quote from Mike Tyson, a boxer, world-renowned. Iron Mike. He said, "It's hard to beat someone who won't give up." It's hard to beat someone who won't give up. Back in January of 2022, I was a young husband and father with little kids and a beautiful wife to provide for. I had a comfortable, steady job in the insurance industry, consistent paycheck, yet a dream was burning inside of me. I faced a life-changing, terrifyingly risky decision. I took my wife out on a date and finally to tell her about it, but I was reluctant. You see, I had already failed once before. All right, so I'm sure you're like, oh, let's get in that second page. What's going to happen next? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about that. We'll give you a little sneak peek on the podcast, but I do want to go back up here because I think it's important to share some details here. So, you know, we had said 30 more days, 30 more days, 30 more days, and that would have been something that I would tell my customers, and I would try to keep a smile, a good attitude, a positive outlook, but it was killing me inside. And some people I was more, I guess, open and honest with, people who had supported me for a long time, and just tell them what's really going on. And I was trying to be, transparent, and others, I just kept saying 30 days. And so some people would catch on with that, and they say, Johnny, you said 30 days for the last 60 days. Like, what's going on? And a lot of times I shrugged my shoulders, and I just wouldn't have answers. I just wouldn't have answers. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't have the answer. I just knew that we were up against a lot of a very complex situation. And, even though, in the book, I'm going to begin to open up some of those obstacles and things like that, that's water under the bridge now. Those things, I look at those things now of things that shaped me, things that made me a better man. Sometimes when you go through really hard times, it's for a purpose, and God causes all things to work together for his purposes, for the good of those who love him and those who are called according to his purpose. And so God really used the situation to actually build me and make me the man I am today. And so I'm actually, there's a part of me that's very grateful for the journey and how hard it was. And even this moment where I was at the point of despair, because I felt like when I actually finally broke down, and after all, I had done all that I could possibly do. My business partners have done all that they could possibly do. There was nothing else. We literally had no other hope. I felt like that the moment where I dropped to my knees, I put my face in that seat, and I began to cry out and say, God, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. I felt that was the moment that God said, good. Now I can get started. God places us in situations where it has to be a miracle, where he alone gets the glory, not me, not my business partners, not anyone else, but God. And so he is good, faithful, gracious, and kind, and merciful. And so, this coffee shop really is, I want it to be a bright spot in our community, a place where people feel peace, the peace of God. People feel they want to come and hang out, enjoy the ambiance, the atmosphere of the coffee shop, and friendly faces and smiles, and just 5-star service. Right now, as it stands, as far as the last time I looked, we are the highest rated restaurant in this area, highest rated in 3 years. I think we only had 3 bad reviews in 3 years. That's hard to do, and so I'm very proud of that. But we're trying to do it everything to the glory of God. And I just want to say, it's our community who, causes us to exist. Really, it's those people who come every day. It's the consistent ones who y'all have been the foundation underneath us that calls us to be able to pay the salary of 13 individuals. This place employs local moms and fathers and brothers and sons, and that's the thing. This place is. It's growing. It's been amazing, and it's thriving now. But there was a time where we didn't think it was ever going to happen. And so, as I think about back to this moment where I was with my wife We went on a date at a place called Enfuego. If you've ever been there downtown, it's kind of midtown area. It's closed down now. It's great little Mexican place. And I remember I was so reluctant to. I had this binder, this black binder, and it was full of all this that I had devised a plan. I had this strategy about how we would open a coffee shop, but I had failed before. Some of you remember this. It was 2015. I had announced on Facebook that me and Stephanie were going to open a coffee shop. Now, that coffee shop was called the Chit Chat Coffee Shack. So that could have happened. It didn't happen, but that's why you now have the roastery. But that was the name, the Chit Chat Coffee Shack. And back then, I was using coffee for ministry. I'm a minister. I'm an evangelist, and I was using it to share the gospel, to share my story with people, to meet people and have those conversations, offer prayer, bring hope and inspiration to people, and point them to God. And I was using coffee for that. I was not selling it. It wasn't a business. It was a nonprofit I was running called Reach My City. And, we were giving away coffee for free. Everything was for free. We were serving the community. And I still look at what we do as a ministry. I still look at every day that I get to smile at someone and tell them good morning. My prayer is that they can see God in me, that they would desire a relationship with God through, seeing a person who experiences that on a daily basis, and the peace of God that has held me this far. So anyway, I don't want to get too much into the next page because I want to, kind of keep you on the edge of your seat, so to speak. You came for the whole seat, but all you need is the edge. That's what I need you to be hanging on and wanting to turn that page with me. So, but as I began to, unfold that binder and show it to my wife, I was very reluctant, because here's why. I have a fantastic, beautiful wife, and she is so wonderful to me. Just, I couldn't have chose a better wife, better partner for this life. Great mother. And, she's sensible. She's very smart. Stephanie, she's extremely, she's got more going on up there than you think. I know looking at me, you'd think the opposite, but I was her one lapse of judgment, but she's a very smart person. And, anyway, so I thought, hey, I'm going to say this, and she's going to shoot me straight down. And that's sensible. I mean, it's logical. I mean, I already failed before, and we had a loss. And here we are. We're at a greater risk. We have 2 children now instead of 1, and more bills and all these kind of things. And you know what? I mean, I just be straight up with you. I mean, you're not looking at a guy with a bunch of money. I mean, you just look at my truck out there and see that. I drive a little busted up truck going down the road. I live in a double wide trailer. I'm living on a dream and caffeine and trusting God. So, and my future. So, this is all, this is all work of faith and love and partners that believe in me and believe in what we're doing and this community for this. And so anyway, as I began to unfold that binder, let me tell you, every bone in my body was just tense, because I was thinking, man, if she completely shot me down right now, it would be sensible. There's nothing, I couldn't argue with her. It would make sense. I would agree. I'd have to say, yeah, we tried before. I get it. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be, But it was a shock. It was a shock of my life, because here I am. I'm sitting across from the love of my life, and when I unfold the plan, what she says to me just really shocked me. And you got to wait for the second page to find out. Got to keep you in suspense there. But I'm excited. Hey, I hope you got a little more details, and maybe that, you enjoyed the podcast. I hope so. Please let me know. I'm doing this as a way to continue to build a community around me as I write this book, those who want to see the book come to fruition, and then obviously, see me become the author that I really want to become. And I'm trying to train myself and give myself the opportunity so I can learn and be better. And, I want to inspire others to chase their dream and to do what they feel called to do. Now, I will say this at the end. This book is going to lead you to another book. So the first book I'm going to write is Life's Like Coffee. The tagline, by the way, is "It's as good as you make it," right? The story of the roastery. The next book, which you're gonna see the books. This book that I'm writing is going to begin to shift from the story of the roastery into the next concepts that will bring us to the next book, which will be called Better and Better. And so, Better and Better I want to get into it because, once again, I got to keep y'all wait. You just gotta wait. It's going to be great. I promise you, it's going to be worth the journey with me. I promise that. It's going to be great. It's very complex. It's very powerful. It can be life-changing. It could change your entire life. In fact, it's such a paradigm shift. I wish I could give it all to you now, but it will take a whole book to really unfold it. So anyway, I do want to share with you also, if you're a reader and you enjoy that type of thing, I actually got something that I brought this evening that I want to share with you. So I am beginning a book club over the best book I've ever read in my entire life besides the Bible, and that is the book, The Pilgrim's Progress. Pilgrim's Progress, written by John Bunyan. It's been in print for over 300 years. Pretty good book. Been in print that long, and I'm starting a book club through the study guide for Pilgrim's Progress. It's January the 6th. It's going to be on Tuesday evenings, and so Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock. And so if you want to be a part of that, let me know in the comment section. I can send you all the information. We'll be right here at the coffee shop. We're going to be going through a Bible study that goes along with this. I believe it is 12 or 13 weeks. I forget. Let me look really quick. Let's see. Yep, you're looking at about 13 weeks with me in the new year. So I'd love to have you for that. Those who love to read, that would be amazing. Be really, really good, whether you're a believer or not a believer. Maybe someone searching, someone just interested in these type of things. It's an allegorical book. The entire thing's allegory. The characters, the places, everything is. It's just wonderful. I'm telling you, I've read it for 20 years. It's my favorite book ever written. It's amazing. There's never been a book like it. I could, Lord of the Rings, things like that. They kind of drifts in that direction, but it is an amazing book. So I hope you'd be a part of that. That'd be great. And I'm going to finish my tea here, and I'm going to get home because it is the evening, and I'm ready. Been a long day, and once again, thank you for joining me. It's been a blessing. I hope that you have enjoyed it. That's the main thing. And be here with me next time as we get into the third episode of the podcast, where we jump into the second and third page. And I'll be producing that on Facebook, like I said. If you go there, you'll actually see the pages as I release them.